Hello and welcome back to another Age of Empires Online game. Today we have THEACE9 and Raw playing on Black Forest. Raw down the bottom here is playing as Celts, and the Ace up the top is also playing as Celts. The map is Black Forest, so it leaves it open to a boom style game. Although we may see something different where the players decide to go against what the map provides and just try and rush forward and take their opponent by surprise. So we see both players have gone straight for deer. The ace is moving straight to wood as well. Yep, and so is Raw. So we see him scouting out in the center of the map, maybe trying to get these center cows, or just checking up on what Raw is planning on doing. They've both scouted out their side of the map first, not grabbing the cows, but maybe yep, his attention's focused up here. He's just checking out what Raw's doing, maybe checking out any different strategies than the usual. Although at the moment, maybe a mistake, maybe on yep. So the civs for this probably best suited for early game attacks. Although later in the game the siege is reasonable, but probably find more of an open style. They could wall, but the civs kind of leave themselves to more of an aggressive style, with the ace up the top going for a barracks. I'll put it onto Raw's view. See if he scouts out this barracks. If he scouts it out, it'll be an important thing for him. He should know where he should know where the ace is, because this map often is similar. He's taking the ace's cows, although he hasn't taken his own, I don't think. Oh, he's brought his own back now. That'll give him a good food boost, and now that he's got the aces, he should know that he has if he keeps these all the way back to his base, he should have a strong food advantage over the ace. He's just scouted out the barracks and he's just seen it. He's just come up to see it. So he should be making one in response, and there he goes. You probably expect them to both go for barracks anyway, because the civ matchup would allow for more early pressure, because the Celtic infantry are the quickest infantry, so they can get across this map quite fast compared to other civs. But being a mirror matchup, it probably won't make so much of a difference. But he hasn't gone for any eco upgrades at the moment. But if I go up here, neither of them have gone for the eco upgrades, but the ace is now starting to get at spearmen. So I'll check if he scanned this, if he scouted this. Oh, wrong. He has also scouted the barracks, so he knows that there's going to be spearmen out in defense. So maybe he's just staying back. He probably knew that his ones would be out first, so it's interesting that he's not going forward. But maybe he's just more weary, trying to get his forces up before he moves out. Also seems that he's scouting the map further for cows. He knows these ones are here, but he hasn't taken them. And Raw, he's not making any more spearmen, so he's population blocked at the moment. So that's why he's population blocked. He's being attacked. It's unfortunate. Maybe he could get his spears back to help, but he's about to lose this villager. That'll be a pretty big hit for him, and he's not making any villagers. This is really distracting him at the moment. It's unfortunate. And this wolf is not leaving him alone. Now this villager, now that this spearman rush is coming over, this villager is pretty vulnerable if he chooses to just pick the weak ones off. He does have quite a bit of resources saved up at the moment, so I'm not really sure why that is, but maybe he's just going to bring out more spearmen once he get these houses down. It appears to have affected him, because it's affected his age up time, since he needs these houses to age up. Being delayed by that wolf is quite a cruel punishment, because now he's going to have this coming in and be behind in economy and technology. Now he's on the defensive. He's going to have to hope that he can fight under the town center and make this a bit more equal. The town center fire will be a good advantage, but the ace is not stopping up. His economy is getting a bit slow, but he's still doing his military push now that with his H2 tech. Long swordsman should be quite a big advantage. He's keeping his scout in there just for some extra hit points on the units, even though these spearmen should be quite good at taking it out. It will be good against town center fire because they have quite beefy 600 compared to a spearman, particularly a Celtic spearman's 150, which is the lowest of all the spearmen. So he's just getting back. He's getting his second town center out. That's why he's had this stone. So it's a good stretch. Now that he's ahead, he can get his economy. Well, now that he's got ahead in military, he can get his economy going. Since he knows he's damaged this, and he knows his opponent was. Well, he doesn't know that it was slow. Well, he can tell that his opponent took longer to get to the next stage. So there's no way you could have a town center out by now. Although he has gathered enough stone to put down the second town center. He still needs some wood, but he's just getting up a second barracks, which is probably a good idea. The ace at the moment doesn't have his second barracks, but he is going for the economy, which is probably, he already has the army. He doesn't really need to get any more out at the moment. So he's using both to get his villagers out. So he's going to have a lot. He's getting the Sacred Grove out so he can get his druids out to boost his stats and heal up his units. Some of them are on quite low HP. Although at the moment his force would still be able to easily take this out, but the town center fire might cause him a bit of trouble. Raw's now getting out his long swordsman. The long swordsman, it'll be good at taking out those spears, but I don't think he's seen these long swordsmen yet, so he should expect them to be there, and now he's getting the second barracks up. Their army sizes are 9 units to 14 units, so there's still almost double. But once he gets these other units out, it should go back into his favour. The scores are quite even though, but that's perhaps he's not making any units and he's got a lot saved up. So unless he's going for a faster age, then even though he doesn't have the wood required, he's going for the second town centre, but maybe should use the first town centre to get, because he's got a lot of food at the moment. Could get the extra villagers out. Although his view is up here, he's just scouting out. Well, he doesn't have his scout here, but he is going to scout out here. It's a bit bad for him before where he's going to be disadvantaged now because his scout is going to be at really high risk, and if he doesn't pay attention like that, he's not going to get much more information just for houses. Perhaps would have been better if you pay attention to this, but he's still got to work back here because he's at he probably knows he's a bit of a disadvantage. So with the ace bringing in some pressure right here, you can see the ace has got a lot of villagers queued up, so his economy is going to be going quite strong. And he has a lot of houses to keep up this kind of production rate, while Raw is a bit more limited to what now he's at capped, and he's not got. He has some wood, but he's spending a lot of it. And perhaps his wood economy, wood is going to run a bit low if he keeps making buildings at this rate and doesn't make any more houses. But he's making an archery range, and now his town center's up. He's got that extra 20 pop that the town center gives you, so that should be okay. But it's going to go quite quick if he keeps making units at this rate. Maybe he makes some more villages because he's going to be a bit of a disadvantage with the amount of villages. It's 24 for Raw and 43 for the ace, so it's quite a difference. Perhaps the pressure that the ace has applied has paid off, because his early game distractions that have caused him a lot of trouble with his wood, and this wolf has been a big favour in distracting and slowing up Raw's economy. He's walling off this side. It's a good strategy, but he should have scouted, because that's not really going to protect him for much, because you can't get through that way. There's no link. A lot of the time there is in Black Forest, but he should have. There's no real clear way to scout or to see if he scouted besides if you can see the resources, and he can't see the resources, so he doesn't know. As because if you've scouted, the resources will show it, and there's probably a couple of berries and golds back there. So perhaps that would have been a good thing to scout before walling, since it's not going to provide any additional. Even he's got quite a defensive base. If you compare it to the aces, he's got three openings that he could get attacked from. So he probably lucky that he's the aggressor at the moment, because the difference in maps is quite good for Raw. If he just drops some building, like a fort maybe, once he gets to age 3 here, it'll provide quite a sheltered area. He's coming up here to scout. He's probably now realizing the amount of longswordsmen. 25 longswordsmen are out, and a lot of barracks are being put down to produce units. The economies are quite in favor of the ace right now. Maybe Raw. He's got a lot of stuff, a lot of resources saved up, but just needs to get them to use. He's doing quite a good job with his villager though. He's got limited villagers, but he's not producing them. But maybe he doesn't want to take up his pot with them. But it's probably not a good strategy. Maybe he's going to wall up here. It's an interesting place to wall, because maybe he should scout. I can go to his view again. Raw. He has scouted this, so he does know that there's 2 different entrances to his base. Maybe one defense would be good, but maybe this would be like he wants to divert to make the ace take the longer route to his base, but it's not going to take him very long to get through this wall unless he gets to age 3 in defense. Oh, he is making slingers now, so that's going to give him some ranged cover from the over the wall. But now the ace is putting down watch post, so at least he's getting his line of sight a bit broader. He maybe could bring it further down, but he's going for he's going for a bit defensive watch post. But if he has the wood to spare, he may as well use it to give himself that bit more vision. Although it's not maybe a wall. If he scattered these walls, he could just wall his own base in, because a good tactic is, if someone's walled you, just wall back. So if they make a gate in their wall, you can't just walk straight through into your base. You'll get the knowledge that they're coming. He's moving forward now, but he's just moving to a more defensive position. He basically has the map control with this 53 long swordsman to 41. But he does have these slingers out, but the slingers they don't really provide that much damage per second. It's 8 damage per second, and a long swordsman has no piece armor, so it's going to 8 damage per second. But maybe the ace has chosen to go for druids, which give infantry army quite a big boost, and if you have the boost of the druids healing you, and I believe it's boost damage, but it's not giving me a stat, but it does boost the damage of your infantry units. So even if you have equal numbers, druids will make you quite a bit stronger in battle. He's now going for more sacred groves and more barracks, so he can get the druid and infantry, which is the classic Celtic army of infantry. But now he's going for the towers. Perhaps if it's not going to work so well if this gets scouted out by the ace. Maybe if he catches the ace by surprise, but the ace is now scouting him out. He's going to see this now and know not to cut. Maybe he expects this side to be a ward off. I know he would expect that, so perhaps he's... I'm not sure if he's actually seen this with his field of vision though, so it'd be interesting to see if he takes much fire or if he just takes the wall down. It shouldn't be too much of an issue. I'll leave it on his line of sight so you can see what he feels. He probably sees this score difference right now. He hasn't seen it now. This is his field of vision. He's just looking around. Now he's just spotting this thing, this guard tower and wall. the walls for Celta. He's also now getting the shield rim, which is a pierce armor upgrade. So maybe he's thinking to move into a more. Just once you get the pierce armor upgrades, you can move into the opponent's base with less risk, because your units will take less damage. Now the pierce armor has now gone to 17% from before it had none. So it'll be significantly better for him to face up to buildings that fire, because they have 25 damage, and 17% is a significant amount out of 25 damage, because they're now up. They've got 210 health, so take quite a while to kill one unit once you get the pierce armor upgrades. Now they're both into the third age. He's going to wall up the top, but the ace is probably not going to mind if he walls here. Maybe he should have scouted up, but he wouldn't have seen anything if he moved up at that time anyway, because they only just arrived. But he's going for quite the large slinger army at the moment. But now he's going for wards. The wards, perhaps a good unit, perhaps not a good unit, but just wait and see. They don't exactly have a great strategy for killing other infantry, because once they're close up, and that's what the infantry want. So their rush attack's not really going to provide much assistance. Roar's really going quite heavy on the villagers, but perhaps a bit too late. And he's not fighting. He's perhaps got a bad start to this engagement, but you'll see the difference between what the slingers cost and what the druids cost. He's 153 population to 130, but he's dropping quite rapidly there. He's putting more in his queue, but you can see the ace is getting all these upgrades now. Perhaps getting the upgrades before going to battle would be preferable, but there's a tiny bit of lag here. I'm not really sure why. I've got everything set to the lowest on my connection. It doesn't really matter, because there's not a lot of micro to really do with this squad. He's vastly outnumbered. Perhaps going to lose these villagers there on the wrong side of his defense, and unless he gets the amount of production facilities he is 3, 4 if you want to count the Sacred Grove, 5, 6, and he's getting a market up a bit close to his town centre, but maybe he's going to put one up. Was going to plan to put one up at a more advantageous spot, but the production facilities up here, there's 12 barracks just in this screen, and he's got the armory, which is an important. I don't think Roar has the armory yet, so that's going to cost him a lot, and this battle is just going heavily in the ace's favour. Down to 66 off and 137 in play, so, and here there's 48 in play, so it's quite a significant number advantage. He's back at his base making more, so I'd say it's close to a good game right now, but he is trying to put up a defense, but it doesn't look like he's done it in time. He's getting the bowmen out to try and counter the infantry, but unless he's got two archery ranges, but they're not going to make units fast enough to counter this, and he's getting quite low in particularly gold, which is not favourable when you're trying to make bowmen. You would just, they still cost 15 gold, and it's not that much, but it's still a lot when you only have 60, and your opponent has all the. Oh, he's kept him out. This wall's not. Oh, no, it's broken. It had done its job for a moment, but the road's coming out, but they're not really lasting that long, because the infantry bonus the long swordsmen have is times 2.5, and roads aren't particularly good against infantry, and they've been changed, so they don't have that bonus as they once did. Now they've got 2.5 first range, but that's not going to do them quite any good at the moment. Now he's just moving into the town centre. It's not much. Yeah, and that was a good battle, but perhaps the early harassment has just put Roar on the back foot, and once he was on the back foot, there's not really much he could do to get out of it. He kind of expected it. He stayed in his base a lot, and it kind of cost him the game, that he lost his economy and couldn't couldn't really keep it up. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'm Jordan. Bye.